Once upon a time, there was a magical island, Neverland, the home of Peter Pan. Peter watched over the island and its fairies, guarding them from evil. One day in Neverland, we find the fairies at Flamingo Lagoon, where they're throwing a party for Tinkerbell. Meanwhile, 3 pirate ships are approaching Neverland from the north, with the evil Captain Hook and his band of pirates aboard. Off the coast, the ship fires onto the fairies. Peter Pan hears the fairy screams and rushes to protect them. In flight over Neverland, Peter dodges Hook's cannonball fire. Peter, concerned about the fairies, looks back at them and in that moment is struck by a cannonball. With Peter hurt on the beach, Tinkerbell leaves Neverland in search of a child who can help Peter Pan and allow him to escape the cannons of Hook's pirate ship.
Wake up! Wake up, Michael! A boy needs your help. Will you help us? I need you to follow me to Neverland. First, roll onto your tummy and place your hands level in front of you. To fly, just stretch your hands out to go faster and pull them in to slow yourself. To turn your hands. To go higher, move your hands upwards, and then to go down, move your hands lower. Now, as we approach Neverland, you must avoid the cannonballs to reach Peter Pan, who needs your help on the island.
As early as round 1. You kept the world pretty simple in terms of what needs to be done here. You made good use at the beginning of telling your story. You used the slideshow sort of method of a narrated slideshow is often a very efficient way to kind of get your story across. And the illustrations in that were kind of attractive and very clear. I mean, hands up if you understood the sort of story setup, right? I think with pretty much unanimous. Hands up if you didn't. No, so everybody understood your story, like 100%, which is nice. Your world was pretty simple in terms of the flying. You had this thing where Tinkerbell is explaining what to do, and it's just a black background and just kind of Tinkerbell floating and talking. That would have been a good time to kind of have a little bit of illustration to kind of clarify, because I would think that might not have been clear enough. Very often, when you deliver instructions to people, if you just deliver them verbally, it's not enough for them. They need illustrations, maps, and that sort of thing can really go a long way towards helping clarify that sort of thing. But for this assignment, that didn't really matter so much. It'll matter in the next one. The world was reasonably attractive. You had the water, and you had the island, and you had the ships, you had the cannonballs. The creepy floating hands were a little creepy, and sometimes they didn't seem. They seemed like there was a peculiar orientation, like they weren't.
With the trackers, we put them on reverse on the hand.
Right.
It's supposed to go this way.
Right. So 2 things I'm going to point out that are going to happen that if you don't check them are going to happen over and over and over in this class. One of them is people are going to put the trackers on backwards, and that's a solvable problem, right? I mean, the trackers can be marked so the orientation is clear, and you can mark whatever you're going to attach them to so the orientation is clear, and then all you have to do is line up the arrows. So you want to check that because it's an easy mistake, and in some worlds it can be quite disastrous. Was it disastrous for you here? You seem to, I couldn't tell if you're having trouble steering or not.
On the headset, I really can't see the resolution of the hands, as
Right.
well as that headset is acting up again. It's getting some nasty vertical lines again, so
Okay.
FYI.
Got it. So in terms of your goal is simply avoid the cannonballs, get to the island, which was very simple, very clear in terms of how engaging an experience that is. I mean, it's a short experience, and it's nice that it's sort of short and simple. For some future assignments, that kind of engagement might not be enough, and you'll need to do more. You'll have to find more ways to kind of make the task be more exciting. But I'm always happy to see people kind of keep things simple and make them work well, as opposed to putting too much on there. One of the things that I think would have really enhanced the flying experience would have been to have some scud, is what the flight simulator people call it, just like little thin layers of clouds that go whipping by your head. We saw the significant contrast between the first time you played, where you avoided all the cannonballs by a wide margin, and then the second time where you were trying to get hit by them and they were just barely missing you, and it was so much more exciting because these things are just whipping by you. And whenever you can make flight simulator experiences that have that experience, they're much more engaging, because when you're at a height flying, you can be in an airplane going 800 miles an hour, but if you're 5 miles off the ground, you feel like you're not moving. You feel like you're just sitting there. But if you're at ground level going 800 miles an hour, that's a pretty exciting experience. So you can look at some other flight simulator things. You'll start to get the idea about Scud, because I know that's going to come up in this class again and again. We're going to have worlds that are about flying at a height, and you want to think about that. Anyway. It was cool that you got the platform working and you made a short, simple, clear world that was attractive. So good job.